where we want to be. South Carolina's got bigger fish to fry than I think they have in a long time. The hype surrounding this year is the most hype heading into a season since 2013. So definitely excited to get
No, I
SEC
got
play
you on this one,
underway and
Coach.
just check off another box.
It ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah. The fanatic. Where we keep it 100, keep it real. That's the only way we know how to be. Talking that sports talk. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of South Carolina. Upstate, A64. Yeah. The FANATTIC. The fanatic where we keep it OG. We talking sports, so I call what I see.
What's going on, college football fans, fanatic family? It's your boy Coach I, and I'm here with the Stat Guy. What's going on, Stat?
Hey, what's going on tonight, Coach?
Hey, man, in here to do some previews for the SEC Week 3, man. That's right, man. It's our time to do previews here on the Fanatic Sports Network, man. We talk all things SEC all the time. If you're new to the channel, man, if you like what you hear or you like the SEC, give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel and bring some more fans with you next time that you come. Before we jump into today's show, just want to let you know this show is sponsored by SeatGeek. That's right, SeatGeek, man. If you go into the game and you want to save some money, use promo code Fanatic Sports and get $20 off. These ticket prices aren't getting any cheaper. So if you're going to go to the game, why not spend some money? SeatGeek, promo code Fanatic Sports. All right, man, we in here. This is what we're doing. We're talking about South Carolina Vandy, start a SEC play for both teams. And guess what? Both teams are undefeated. I know it's only week 3, but in the case of Vandy, for sure, that's not always been the case. How you feeling about it, Stat?
Hey man, look, we where we want to be. South Carolina's got bigger fish to fry than I think they have in a long time. The hype surrounding this year is the most hype heading into a season since 2013. So definitely excited to get SEC play underway and just check off another box.
That's right, man. I think South Carolina is poised to do some things. Vandy looking like they're trying to do some of the same things. You know, I think everybody's goal, of course, is to make it to Atlanta to play for the SEC championship and or make it to the playoffs. And both teams are off to good starts. So, man, let's go ahead and jump into this thing, man. We'll talk about the week 2 recap for both teams. Then we'll talk about how South Carolina's offense can take advantage of Vandy's defense, and then vice versa, Vandy's offense versus South Carolina's defense, and where we think each team may have an advantage or can try to take an advantage. And then we'll wrap it up by giving some predictions. Let's get this thing rolling, man. So week 2, start out with the visitors this week is Vandy. Vandy went to Blacksburg and put a whooping on VTech. You know what I'm saying? Like, it started off kind of shaky, but once they got their footing, it was like Virginia Tech. I don't know if Virginia Tech just sort of say blew their wad in the first half, but Vandy came storming back after it was 10-0, and they ended up beating them by 24. What'd you see from that game that Vandy did good?
Yeah, the first half was definitely, the place was loud. I think Vatek was in the game they wanted to be in, up 20-10 at halftime. And then second half, it's like I don't know what team came out of the locker room for Vatek, but Vandy was waiting on them and gave them all they wanted and then some, especially to go on the road and do that in a night game for somebody's home opener. Very impressed from what Vanderbilt did.
Right. And it's not like we saying Virginia Tech is world beaters, but I think Virginia Tech is a formidable team. This is another Power 4 team. You go on the road to their stadium at night, hostile environment, and come out with a win. And to be honest with you, last year, a lot of times when Vandy beat other Power 4 teams, it was because Pavia did something extraordinary. When you're watching it, they just lined up and beat them. That's just what it was. You know what I'm saying? There was things that Virginia Tech had a problem stopping the run right up the middle, which was crazy. Their linebackers, I don't know if their run fits were always the what they needed to be, but whether it was Pavia, the running back, or anything like that. So shout out to Vandy for getting that win, man, 44-20. Now on to the host team this coming weekend. It's that South Carolina Gamecocks, man. Now South Carolina didn't have a Power 4 team, but they were battling the weather. They had a weather delay of like what, 2 hours, something like that.
2 hours and 19 minutes.
Right. Playing South Carolina State in-state school money game is what we like to call it. I know some fans probably weren't as pleased with the outcome, but around here we count W's and L's. 38-10, pretty solid game. Game was pretty much in hand at halftime, or a little bit before. It's not like at any point you thought South Carolina State was going to beat South Carolina, right?
Right. I mean, obviously, you get the 2 punt returns for a touchdown, then you finally get the offensive touchdown. It was kind of a wrap, but yeah, I mean, the between the weather delay, I don't like to make excuses. Maybe that's why they came out so flat, but definitely
Hmm.
could have had a better showing in the money game. But look, end of the day, add another win to the column, keep it moving. You're right where you need to be in the rankings. As long as you win, can't nobody stop you from getting where you want to go.
That's exactly what it is, man. So now, man, on to this week, man. This week you bring them in. It's a night game. Is that correct?
Night game.
Under the lights and Willie B. Pavia had a little something to say in the off season. Nah, he didn't talk no trash. He just said if there was any game that he was circling, it was definitely the South Carolina game. Last year, the Gamecocks won 28-7 in Nashville. It wasn't, particularly close or competitive, to be honest with you. After, Vandy pretty much had I ain't gonna say a star year, but it definitely one of the best years since Jane Franklin was in Nashville. So let's talk about South Carolina's offense versus Vandy's defense. So tell me some ways that you think Vandy could cause some problems for South Carolina's offense.
Well, Vandy just needs to kind of do what they did against Vatech. I mean, I feel like they kind of stymied Vatech's run game, kind of won the battle at the line of scrimmage more than they lost it anyway. And if they can do that against South Carolina and not let the run game get going, it'll be able to protect their secondary from the play action fake and some of the deep shots that you think Norris might want to take to Nick Harbor.
Yeah, and I think Vandy did. I was watching the game again today, and Vandy did a lot of twist up front with their linemen, and some other stunts where the tackle goes outside, ends come in, vice versa, and Vatek didn't handle those well at all. And I know your thoughts on your O line. Are you at all concerned about the twists and stunts that they do for Vandy up front?
Yeah, I mean, and not even because of the twists and stunts. I'm just concerned about our O line in general. We
Uh,
had we had 2 more O linemen go out with injuries. They're expected to be ready for Saturday, but it's Sunday. I mean, that's what you're thinking.
right.
They're bigger guys. You don't know how the body's going to heal, how it's going to react to treatment. I mean, if we lose those 2, now you going deeper and deeper into the well for an offensive line that isn't something that's a strength for your team. And so far, they haven't done a good job of getting a push. We when we talk about dominating the line of scrimmage, especially in the SEC, it's not even about pancakes or anything like that. But can you get a push? Can you
Right.
change the line of scrimmage instead of where it is to a yard or 2 further downfield? And it opens up that running game. It gives you the true clean pocket to throw in. And we haven't seen that yet this year, whether it be Vitek or South Carolina State when it comes to those things.
Yeah. Now on the opposite side of that, I think South Carolina can run on Virginia Tech again but simply because Sellers is always a threat. So when you're doing zone read or RPO, they have to respect the threat of Sellers. But I do want to see more of the running back Rasul.
Rasul Faison, yeah.
Rasul. I mean, an Attaway out in space can be a help too. But I think, of course, Sellers' legs is going to be different. They were able to kind of, I ain't going to say box Kyron Drone in. Kyron Drones had a couple of runs where he got a first down or maybe 2 yards for a touchdown. But overall, he rushed the ball 13 times for like 36 yards. So I don't think that's the same as facing a Sellers. Sellers is so much more dynamic with his legs. And I think they're going to have to prepare a lot more for that. Now, what I did see from Vandy's defense is they mix in a little zone, mix in a little man. They're not like a one type defensive coverage. So where do you want to see y'all take advantage of Vandy?
Um, I would love to see some more out of the passing game.
Mm-hmm.
But end of the day, I think our offense and what we've seen the first 2 weeks is who we are as an offense. I think we are
Mm-hmm.
going to try to establish the run. We're going to look for our tight ends and our running backs, and you're going to throw the ball a little bit to your wide receivers. We have a great core of young guys in that wide receiver room that the fans are really excited about, but I just don't see it being a thing where we're going to open it up and take all these shots all over the field. I just don't see that happening. So if it's not, then what I want to see is us execute at a high level to the few things that we do and do it really well.
Right, and I noticed that they played some off-ball coverage against Virginia Tech because Virginia Tech got those big, tall receivers. I'm interested to see if they take that same approach against like a Nick Harbor because if you're not going to get up in his face and you're going to let him have a free run, if you're not playing a safety over the top, then we saw that kind of what happens with that, in that first game against Virginia Tech. So on the flip side, South Carolina's defense versus Vandy, I think South Carolina's defense can give them problems because watching the Virginia Tech game, their linebackers are not as half as athletic as South Carolina's linebackers. I think that one thing to me is going to be the difference in South Carolina's defense playing against Vandy. Fred Johnson, I'm already a fan. One game, 2 games in, I'm already a huge fan. I think sideline to sideline, South Carolina's defense is way more agile and athletic than Virginia Tech's. Virginia Tech's got a decent defensive line, but I don't think it holds up to South Carolina. So I think that's where y'all can cause Vandy some problems, but you got us in that front 4, front 7, got to stay in those rush lanes because we know Pavia can get loose.
Right. The big thing to look out for is how banged up we are in the secondary. Um, Jalen Kilgore didn't play.
Right.
Um, who else? You also have Vicari Swain went out after the second punt return. Both of these guys are expected to start come
Yeah.
Saturday, but again, you don't know. Brandon Cisse, the transfer, also went out with an injury. So the secondary is definitely banged up. And while we have talent back there, we're not super deep. So the front 7 is going to have to dominate and kind of protect them if we're going to see us pull the win out of here.
Now, and I'm pretty sure tomorrow, this being we recording on a Sunday night, I'm pretty sure tomorrow and Tuesday you'll get some updates on the injuries. Some of those could have been preventative to hold them out the rest of the game because they knew South Carolina State was in hand. Thing I noticed about Vandy's receivers compared to, and I bring up the Virginia Tech game because when you guys played Virginia Tech, they had Green and Green on the outside. I think they're 6'3" and 6'4", respectively or whatever. Vandy's receivers aren't that big, you know what I'm saying? And one thing you and I talked about when y'all played Virginia Tech, Kyron Drones did throw some great passes. Those guys, had some, again, big targets. Vandy doesn't have those big targets, you know what I'm saying? So I'm interested to see how they go about trying to attack your secondary because, again, the secondary for South Carolina definitely stays in phase. Sometimes turning ahead and finding the ball may be an issue, but these are smaller, quicker, more get you the ball right now type receivers. And now with the tight end Stowers, though, that's a little different. He's bigger, you know what I'm saying? And then his backup, I forget, he's the one that scored the first touchdown for Vandy against Virginia Tech. I want to say 82, if I'm not mistaken. But that was like a coverage bust, and I don't see South Carolina's secondary busting coverages any, too much.
Right. The other thing too, I know you spoke about the defensive line, is I'm very interested to see what Vandy does with Dylan Stewart. Obviously had another sack this last weekend. He's up to 2. 4 sacks altogether for the defensive line last week. I mean, they're doing what they do. They get after the quarterback. And one thing, and it's still kind of the case, South Carolina hangs their hat on creating chaos on defense. They
Right.
may not be the best at stopping the run. They may not be the best at stopping the pass or even getting sacks, but they will create chaos throughout the game, and they like to live in that chaos. And so, especially night game in Willie B, it'll definitely be interesting to see what Vandy does to try to keep the chaos from erupting.
Interesting. All right, man. On to our predictions, man. I think you said this is South Carolina's favorite by 6.5, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, sir.
Okay, South Carolina by 6.5. I could see why Vandy is averaging 44, albeit to Sisters of the Poor East in the first game, but again, a Power 4 team, ACC team at their place against Virginia Tech, they still put up 44. And South Carolina's in that 32-ish range, I would say. 34, yeah, 30 at 28 to 30 range. So I got South Carolina winning this one. A little bit closer than the fans may want. I think it's like a 21-10, maybe 21-14 type game. I don't see this game hitting the 30s, to be honest with you, unless both teams just forget how to play.
Right. I think South Carolina is on a 16-game win streak against Vandy. One of the longest in the SEC after their miraculous win over Alabama last year. But that we just don't lose to Vandy, home or away. Obviously, this being a home game at night. During the South Carolina game, it was the most student section tickets ever requested for a home game. That's expected to be broken again this week. It's going to be raucous in there. I have South Carolina winning and covering, but as far as prediction, for only the second time in NCAA history, I'm predicting that a player returns a punt for a touchdown in 3 consecutive games. So give me Vicari Swain with the punt return touchdown. Lock it in for the 3rd game in a row.
All right. No score prediction, just covering, huh?
Yeah. If you want the score projection, tune in Thursday night to the Stat Line with the Stat Guy, and you'll get my score prediction as well as some other hot takes on how I'm actually feeling about this game, good or bad.
That's right. Make sure you tune in on the Fat Addict Sports Network for the Stat Line with the Stat Guy. That's right here on this channel at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Time. All South Carolina football all the time. So make sure you get in. So that's been a wrap for us, man. That's the South Carolina Vandy preview, opening up SEC play for both teams. Both teams are undefeated currently, week 3. We'll see how it goes down. Hey, man, for the Stat Guy, it's been Coach I. We out.
We got it jumping like it's that valley. I call my dogs out the pound, let's go eat. Turn on the fan at it, let's have a debate. Who really hold down the Southeast from state to state? What team hungry gonna eat everything up off they plate?